Ruby Franke has three sisters, Bonnie, Julie, and Ellie, and she also has a brother, Beau. Well, it turns out Beau has actually written a letter to the judge asking for mercy for his sister, Ruby. He wrote this letter on February 14th. Dear Judge and future parole board, Ruby Franke is my older sister by a year and a half. Growing up, we did a lot together and had a lot of shared experiences. Throughout her life, Ruby has always been an achiever and becomes recognized by authority figures. Her school teachers regularly commended her as she consistently earned high grades. She was praised by her piano teacher as she excelled in piano performance as well as competition. We worked at a call center together where she received numerous employee recognitions. Ruby always jumps in with both feet whenever swimming, participating in the high school marching band, or as the school jazz band pianist. During her career on YouTube, she often told me that her desire was to spread the message that mothers are important and that mothers have strength in nurturing their children. I never had any concern for her and her children, and I was impressed with how generous and kind she had always been to my own children. Ruby and I both joined the Connections program. As per usual, Ruby absorbed all that was taught. She recognized the instructor, Miss Hildebrand, as a woman who stood in authority and was recognized by the state of Utah as someone who was a properly trained and licensed professional. Like many authority figures in Ruby's life, Miss Hildebrand saw Ruby's potential. She saw that Ruby was easily trainable and had the ability to influence others. She saw the millions of followers Ruby had worked hard to acquire on the YouTube and Instagram platforms. Many of the teachings from the Connections program were reasonable and good. Unfortunately, as I later discovered, that is what made the program so dangerous. If it was entirely crazy, it wouldn't have had any influence. The program was, by all definitions, a cult. Miss Hildebrand was the sole source of what was right or wrong and discouraged people from making their own life. A recurring theme was the principle of separation and isolation, which the leader routinely prescribed. I personally witnessed numerous marriage relationships separated through Miss Hildebrand's encouragement, including, for a time, my own. I believe the primary reason my marriage, as well as many others, suffered is that couples felt a looming threat of divorce. In this way, Miss Hildebrand kept couples continually paying for her program. In Ruby's case, I believe Miss Hildebrand wanted Ruby's platform and influence for her own gain. At the continued encouragement of Miss Hildebrand, Ruby systematically pushed those around her away. First myself, then our sisters, parents, and close friends, and then her husband, and finally, her own children. Ruby has clearly been brainwashed. She has been taken advantage of by Miss Hildebrand. Now, in the absence of Miss Hildebrand, I see Ruby striving to restore those relationships. It came as no surprise to me that as soon as Ruby was removed from the fog of the cult, she recognized she was wrong and was ready and willing to unfeignedly take responsibility for the wrongs she has done. I ask for this information to be considered in decisions related to Ruby's sentencing. Sincerely, Beau Griffiths.